Tonight's video for the subtle emotion of courage is initiative, and this is a pretty easy one for me. Initiative is like just acting without hesitation, and it definitely has a courage feeling to it, a courageousness to it. That energy that's uplifting. I don't know. There's always just something interesting about somebody who just goes headstrong into something without hesitating, without overthinking it, analyzing it, wondering if they're doing it right. They just do it. That's initiative. And the memory that came to me on this one is I had did this spiritual retreat. It was a week long spiritual retreat. I opened up a lot, got really deep into my body, released a lot from my body, and opened my heart more. It was called Path of Love. It was actually a really beautiful retreat. It was both one of the hardest things I've ever done and one of the most gentle. It kind of went back and forth, that polarity. When I got back to Hollywood, I think I was here a day. I'm over at this vegan deli in my neighborhood that I like to hang out at. I'm sitting outside. I'm drinking my morning tea, and there's a pretty busy street. I mean, all the streets in LA are busy, but this one's decently busy. There's actually a lot of accidents that happen on the street. I've also just the other day almost got ran over from someone not paying attention when I was walking. It's happened multiple times. I don't know, something about this street. People just don't pay attention. Or they're too in their heads or something. So I'm sitting there drinking my tea and I'm looking at the street and I see this little compact Toyota. I think it was a Toyota. Driving, and then he decides to make a U-turn. Doesn't even look. He turns just as a moving truck is coming, which has the right of way. It's not like the moving truck was doing something it wasn't supposed to be doing, and just crashes into it. Just smacks into this little car and pushes it. And without hesitation, I just jumped up and I ran over there, ripped open the door, you know, checking to see if the young man was okay. He had a big gash on his head and there's all this blood coming out. And I just grounded him out, stayed there with him, asked him if he was all right. I could feel my heart pumping. I definitely feel that courageous energy. And helped him get out of the car, sat him down, you know, let him come a little bit more to his senses because he was a little in shock. It was pretty obvious. The moving truck was fine. Like it was no big deal. His car was totaled, and took him like 20 minutes to finally calm down. And telling me he was on his way to work. He's gonna get fired. He was all nervous. I just stayed there with him. I was like, "Look, work's not the most important thing right now. Like it's just stay focused on you. Go to the hospital." He wasn't even gonna go to the hospital. I mean, this massive gash on his head, just blood coming out. Didn't want to call the ambulance, so I talked him into calling an Uber and going to the hospital. And I got his number. I checked on him the next day. But yeah, in that moment, soon as I saw that car get hit, you know, I was like, oh shit. And then just that initiative took over. I didn't think about it, wasn't worried what was going to happen, knew I could handle it, even if what I saw in the car wasn't going to be good, because it just felt like that's what you do in those sorts of situations. And you know, that's the power of initiative. It's just going headstrong into something. Doesn't matter what's going on, gonna handle it. And I could think of many times I've had that energy, that feeling. So this one's a really easy one to associate with courage. So that's tonight's video. See you guys tomorrow.